Hello and welcome to the Kingston Uplift for Business Education, or CUBE project. My name is Phil George. I'm the project manager at Kingston College for this project, and I'll be using the next few slides to take you through an overview of what CUBE sets out to do. CUBE takes as its focus the higher education business provision delivered at Kingston College on behalf of Kingston University Business School. Specifically, this is the BA in Business Management, the HND Business Management, and the Foundation Degree in Business. The BA and the HND are full-time programs. The Foundation Degree, which is aimed more at people in work, is delivered by Saturday schools and one evening a week. The CUBE project seeks to address issues which have been identified as problems, which include learner attendance, engagement and achievement on the full-time programs. That's the BA Business Management and HND. We also wanted to look at changing the delivery of programs to better fit with the way that students are now living their lives, student behaviour and lifestyle, the changing patterns, the circumstances of students. We wanted to look at how blended learning might help address some of these challenges, and to also explore models of blended learning solutions, to look at where we could best exploit available technology, and to also find ways of repurposing existing resources, of which there are many, of course. We have also set out to try and build a repository of well-designed blended learning objects, things that could be benchmarked across different provisions, things which could be searched, tagged, and also, and very importantly, to enhance best practice and collaboration amongst teaching practitioners, not just in the business provision, but across the rest of the organisation. The main components of the CUBE project are to look at models of curriculum delivery, to try and explore new models of curriculum delivery, which will include blended and mobile learning. So to look at the structure of the way that things are currently being delivered, and to see where we could incorporate the concept of blended and mobile learning. To also investigate new platforms for learning resource creation and individual learning planning. Some of the tools that we used I'll come to in a moment. And furthermore, to a range of evaluation methods would be used to assess the impact and change. So obviously clearly important to ensure that we can track where things are working, have worked, don't work, etc. So that's a main component of the project. We are employing a variety of tools and techniques to address the core elements of the project in CUBE. These include using a learner voice survey at the beginning of the project, and then more recently at the beginning of the first year full-time programs, to try and pull in information from the learners about their technology habits, the things they're comfortable with, etc. We have also used online surveys. We are using focus groups, a longitudinal study with a group of students and student researchers during the next and the final phase of the project. Teaching practitioner awareness raising activities. Well, we used some awareness raising days with the teacher team to try and get them to become aware of some of the tools and techniques that we were hoping to move forward. We used a number of techniques, mixed media, and we also used something called a curriculopoly, which was a game we concocted to demonstrate the way that learning could be changed by the introduction of different technologies and media. We have also, by happy coincidence, found that the Xerti learning packaging tool, which has been being developed over the last year, 18 months, has proved extremely useful here. Also podcasting tools, mixed media development tools. We're working with individual learning planning tools, and also tools for reflective practice in Mahara Moodle. Naturally, it's most important for the Cube project to engage with learners, and in order to do this, we have placed emphasis on the focus on the learner voice. As I mentioned a moment ago, we have conducted learner voice questionnaire surveys to try and get a handle on what the learners would anticipate, hope for, etc. as part of their program, the sort of technologies they're using. Questioning the learners about their expectations and what they've used previously in other organisations, school, colleges, etc. Then to seek and create engaging blended learning activities, again using the tools and techniques mentioned in the previous slide. So trying to design things which fit with the learners' anticipation or what they would like to see, and attempt to address some of the issues identified by learners as important to them using technology supported solutions. So trying in every way we can to actually make what we do fit with the learners' needs. Just as important, and possibly even more so, certainly at the outset of the project, was engaging with the teaching team. For this, we used baselining activities, which we looked at the existing teaching and learning activities, and did lots of observations and filming, and then set about with the teaching teams to try and examine how these activities and the conventions of teaching might be enhanced. We also wanted to demonstrate the need for change by using the learner voice, so actually using the research, using the voice of the students to try and bring about the change. We raised awareness of blended learning tools and techniques and how these might be best employed, using, again, as mentioned before, the awareness raising, but also by ensuring that we offered support to the teaching team in the development, discovery and implementation of ways to redesign the curriculum, so that they're not just left high and dry or given a bunch of instructions and just said get on with it. We felt very strongly we needed to integrate with the teaching team to encourage change of practice. The main challenges that we have encountered so far have been selling the actual need for change to blended delivery. It's all very easy to talk about it, but actually selling it to the practitioners, getting them to understand, is a seriously difficult and important phase. We need to overcome objections, practical objections, intellectual objections and structural objections, where people are saying, well, I'd like to do all this, but I'm not able to because the curriculum states this or the module leader states that. The need to embed and not tinker at the edges. This is clearly something we wanted to be very clear about, that this is something which is not just a passing phase, it's something where we would want things to be consistent across the provision. It's something where we would want to see this carry on beyond the remit in terms of reference to the project. Technology issues and teething troubles, they are inevitable, so as such you have to know that this is going to be a problem and obviously deal with it. But clearly when people start to use new technologies, it takes a while for them to get their head around it, and sometimes the technology can throw up a few problems. Prioritization of perhaps our needs or the project team needs set against the teacher practitioners' needs. Sometimes they would feel, and do feel, I suspect, that their priorities lie elsewhere rather than trying to comply with what we feel is the way forward. And training and awareness. Clearly you have to plug in training when and where needed. We have really, we now understand that setting up classrooms with people in and going through things when they're not actually going to be used is almost a waste of time. It needs to be just in time style training and being there when you're needed. So that's been a big challenge. The successes so far, well, we have got piloted blended learning models running now, employed in the business curriculum and replacing some traditional methods. It seems that in certain circumstances they're working, and we've got evidence to show that what we're doing now actually is better than what we were doing a year ago. Effective learner voice research. The questionnaire we launched at the beginning of this academic year for the first year BABM HND students, we had over a 60% response to that, and some extremely good data has come from that, so that's been very useful indeed. Enthusiastic adoption of the Xerti tools. Teachers like this tool. When they get the time, they like to use it, and so therefore half the battle's won. And the early signs show that the learners like to use this type of technology as well. They find it engaging, and as such, again, half the battle's won. So those are certainly some of the successes I'd point out. Naturally, we need to be aware of how much we've done and when and where the milestones are. So we have got focus groups planned, we have had focus groups, we have learner researcher activities going out through the remaining part of the academic year, right the way through the next semester to the end of the project. We have a peer teaching observation scheme for HE Business. So we will be able to, through that, see what sort of progress has been made with the teaching team. We have the organisational quality improvement processes, so we have the mock inspections and the school inspections, etc., to help us measure. We got quantitative and qualitative research, which is being conducted by one of our project team, and that will be pulling more and more data and research in during the rest of the project. And the blended learning repository, which is only just beginning to come together now, but this will obviously be monitored to show what's going into that, and what the quality of these objects are, and how people can access them and repurpose them, and teacher feedback. So clearly we will be monitoring from the teacher practitioners and the managers of the course exactly what their views are throughout the rest of the period of the project. So hopefully we will be able to assess the distance travelled. Thank you for your attention.